When I think of the European debt crisis and I think about aviation, I think you have to start with a global basis. And first of all, it affects the economic growth. People, I think, are a little bit concerned and not willing to spend as much as they may normally, especially in the European area. That being said, there are lots of areas, the US specifically, and Asia, which are growing. The industry, for many years, went through a period of $40 to $60 fuel. In the last 2 to 3 years, we've been at a $100 fuel price. So the airlines initially came out with a hedging program and now have moved to what I would call an operational hedging program. And what I mean by that is they've been in search of efficiency. One of the ways that they've been in search of efficiency is looking for newer airplanes. When we think of emerging markets, we think of Asia, specifically China, but also into the Philippines, Malaysia, Indonesia. These are markets that have been showing some possibilities of growth and now really starting to grow. With that, you also look into Latin America. Brazil has taken off. It's really about demographics. Every day there are more and more people entering the middle class. They want to have nicer things, whether it be TVs, refrigerators, but they also want to see the world. And the best way to see the world is to fly. Increased regulations have had, in my opinion, a negative effect overall on the industry. When we look at regulations like emissions, I think that has a negative effect overall on what the industry and what the airlines are trying to accomplish, which is to efficiently move passengers and allow them to be in a position to get to where they want to get to as quickly and as cheaply as possible. When you think about leasing, it's really about flexibility, and it's two types of flexibility. One being financial flexibility, and that means the airlines can go use less capital, so they're using less capital and less cash, and that's a plus up front. And the other is fleet flexibility. And when you think about that, you think about 25 to 30-year useful life assets, where airlines may only have a demand for that asset for 10 to 15 years. So the role of the operating lessor is to take that aircraft, deploy it for that 10 to 15-year period, and then redeploy it to someone else who has the demand for that type of asset. So it really allows us and the airline to optimize the specific situation. When I think of 2012, I look at it as one dependent on overall economic growth. So I think you're going to see continued slowness in Europe until there's a resolution to some of the European debt issues. But as that is resolved, I think underlying growth in the US, growth in Asia, that combination of things is going to be a net positive, and you will start to see an acceleration of growth throughout the year. The world is becoming a smaller place. People want to visit new places. They want to get to places they couldn't go before. And the way they do that is with newer, fuel-efficient, long-haul equipment. And with all the new airplanes that are coming in the market, whether they be ultra-large 380s, whether they be 787s, A350s, efficient long-haul aircraft are going to allow the industry to grow profitably. And we believe that's a segment that will continue to grow in the future.
To learn more about CIT Aerospace, go to CIT.com/aerospace.